Hello! This is kind of a new filming situation for me. Hi, how are you? Happy Vlogoween. So today, I thought that we could go through this gigantic journal that I finished. Now this is a big accomplishment for me because I have never in my life finished an entire journal, an entire scrapbook, an entire anything, an entire notebook, nothing. But I did it, and I'm very proud of it. And I treated this as a scrapbook journal, as I'm sure you can tell. So there are some pages that are like my diary that I won't be sharing because it's personal and private, you know. But scrapbooks are meant to be shared, so I'm going to share the scrapbook parts. And I don't want this to be a 15-minute long intro, but I just want to say a thank you to my mom for purchasing this journal for me, the first one I've ever had complete success with. And the reason I got this in the first place, and I think the reason I did so well with it, is because I've been really struggling with the loss of my grandfather, and I ended up seeing a doctor about it, which is something that's hard for me to say, even though I know there's nothing wrong with it. I felt like I couldn't pull myself together, and my mom finally convinced me to go, and I got some help, and my doctor also suggested that I go see a counselor, like a grief counselor, so I did. And I don't know overall that the grief counselor was a huge help to me. However, she did have this one idea, and that was to write in a journal as if I was writing a letter to my grandfather. So I could still have that feeling of talking to him and sharing important things with him. That is the reason that my mom got me this journal. I did want to share that story, even though it's a little hard for me to talk about. This helped me so much. It helped me with my grief. It helped me in so many ways, and I feel like I now have this giant memory book that I'm so proud of, and I just wanted to share that. For anybody else that might be struggling with the loss of someone, writing a letter to that person can be really cathartic and really helpful. So, with all of that said, let's jump in. Here we go. Here's the first scrapbook page. This is my first trip to Scotland. This is a trip that my mom and I took together. It was a dream vacation. We had an amazing time. I have some videos on this channel about it. Last Taylor Swift concert, not my last concert, but the last concert I went to. The last Taylor concert I went to was her Reputation tour on July 20th, 2018. It was a wonderful show. I was very close to the B stage, as you can see here. And I got down on my hands and knees and collected all of this confetti, which is what's in the background here. My 30th birthday trip to Disney. I took this trip with Adam. I love these pictures so much. The best caramel apples in the entire world here. And here's my 30th birthday party, which is one of my favorite days ever. It was such a wonderful night. It really was, though. This is my favorite party I've ever had or been to. It was just a really wonderful night, and I felt so loved and thankful and very blessed. And here are a few cookies that my mom decorated for the party, which, I mean, that's a cookie. What? She's so incredible. If you're not familiar with the show, this is an exact copy of what the menu looks like for the Crashdown Cafe. And it's a cookie, and this is a cookie. This is a cookie that's half eaten, a sheriff badge, and the Crashdown Cafe logo. Amazing. And here are some Christmas pictures. I love these too. 2019 goals. I did not say resolutions because I don't really believe in resolutions. I feel like it's just a thing that you break by January 2nd. But I did want to set some goals for the whole year. Just a few, just some very simple goals. And let's see, we're in October now. I have not read 10 books. I think I've read 7 books. That's pathetic. Not if you're not a reader. I'm not saying you're pathetic if you're not a reader. Oh my gosh, I'm just saying for me personally, I've had years where I've read like 50 books. And so it's pathetic for me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just haven't been in the mood lately. But I still think I can get to 10. Exercise a little every day. I didn't do so well at the beginning of the year, but I certainly have been doing it now, training for this half marathon. I just did just short of a 10K a couple days ago. It actually felt good, and I enjoyed it, and I don't know who I am anymore. Finish a sketchbook. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish a sketchbook, but since I finished a whole entire journal, I'm still counting that as a win. And get on a weekly YouTube schedule. I really didn't do that for the year, but I've definitely been following my Vlogoween schedule, which is great. Okay, and then a few pages we're going to skip over of writing. We have my winter 2019 playlist. I tend to mix up what I'm listening to based on the season. Lennon, I cannot wait for Lennon's full album to come out. I'm like dying over here waiting for studio versions of some of these songs. What do I have on here? We have studio versions of all these, but the songs that she's been performing in her live shows, I need studio versions, and I cannot wait anymore for her album. I love her so much. Holiday cards that I wanted to keep. The most beautiful flowers you've ever seen in your life, right? Adam brought me these last fall, and they have sharpened pencils in them because You've Got Mail is very special to us. They're still the most gorgeous flowers I've ever seen. All my favorites are in here. Roses, sunflowers, snapdragons, Gerber daisies. Amazing. Oh, this was just a little page I was feeling artsy and decided to put some quotes in there. A few of my favorite things. So over here we have a whole bunch of TV shows. I am a big TV fan. I don't really watch any current TV, but I live for 90s and older. And there's a few missing there, but you get the idea. I love the 90s and the 70s. If you told me I had to pick, how many is this, 5? 6? So apparently I can't choose 5 favorites, but if you told me I had to pick 6 favorite books, I could do it. These are them right here. Some of my favorite art styles and artists. Cats, Tap Dance, Puffins, Gene Kelly. This was a fun page, clearly. Oh, my Scorpio and Slytherin page. I love how this came out. And I think my Hogwarts house and my sign match up so well. They really work together as a full spread. I like this a lot. This page is still a little bit of a work in progress. My mom redid her kitchen, and I was going to add a couple more photos and things to it. It's cats and kitchen page. So this is like a little sample of the counter. This is the paint, the new paint in the kitchen. It's a little picture of what it looks like now. I definitely meant to do more to this. I just haven't yet, and I forgot about it, so good. Reminding me. Oh, and my battery's almost dying, so I better go charge that up, and then we'll keep going. And we're back. I bet that felt like no time at all, huh? This is some of my favorite makeup, and I have some swatches here of lipstick that I love. Dragon Girl by NARS is my #1. I'm also a big fan of the new Power Matte lip pigments from NARS. NARS is basically my go-to for lips. The end. I do really like the Jeffree Star formula, but NARS is my #1. And then I just have some packaging that either looked cool or felt nice and I didn't want to throw it away, so I used it. I'm skipping over a bunch of pages because it's all writing, but I did just want to show you this photo here, which was Adam's first attempt at using my instant camera. Didn't he do a good job? A Groundhog Day page. I just felt nostalgic on Groundhog Day, so I made a little page for the Broadway musical, which I loved so much. It was such a great show. Oh, okay, this is just a random like Roswell spacey page. But this right here, I'm just going to let all you Taylor Swift fans take a look for a second because it is so amazing. So this is from when my mom and I went to see the Philadelphia Orchestra play The Sorcerer's Stone. It was so cool, and I got this neat ticket. My hands are cold, so of course it's not changing right now. It's contact paper that is heat sensitive, so it's kind of magical looking. We'll see if we can get it to change colors. There it goes. This was so wonderful. I went to the mailbox one day and there was a flyer for Unagi Sushi, which is a real place that exists, and I'm so happy it does. It made my day. I am not a sushi eater, but I kind of want to go there just because. A little February page, more sweet February things. Here's another awesome cookie set my mom made, Dalmatian cookies. Love them so much. This is a very sweet card that my friend Tyler gave to me when I was leaving New York City. More February things. This is my very handsome grandpa here. He was in the Air Force. Here's some more favorite things. I have room to fit some more stuff in here. I might have to do that. Here's what I was trying to get on my YouTube schedule. Kind of succeeded, kind of failed, but it's okay. And this right here is just a blank note card that I wrote a journal entry inside of and stuck it in. A little Wonder Woman shrine. Oh, okay, here's my 24 obsession. So, I'm losing the light a little bit, but I went through some old magazines and found out that I had a lot of 24 stuff in old like Charmed fan magazines and things like that. So that was a cool find, and I cut them all up, used them. Orange and green collage, my favorite colors. I had been holding on to these Dream Out Loud tags for, I don't even know, how long has it been since Dream Out Loud was a thing? They've just been like floating around in my closet and things, so I was like, it's time, I need to do something with them. So I stuck them in here. This is an ad for Dream Out Loud that was in a Kmart flyer that was with these. And then I was holding on to this, I think it was a Teen Vogue magazine, solely because of Selena. So I was like, well, rip the page out, save it, and get rid of the magazine. So that was helpful. If you remember, I don't even remember, but I did a video where I kind of flipped through my Hilary Duff binders because I saved anything and everything that she was in. And I finally went through, got it all on tape. On tape? How old am I? Got it all on video and parted with the binders, but I saved some of my favorite things. And a few of them I put in here, and a few of them are other places, but I couldn't get rid of everything. I love Hilary so much. This is a photo of the first time I saw her in person. My mom captured this picture of her. It was the only glimpse we got of her through that crowd. It's a cookie lesson my mom was giving. When I first moved into this, well, not this house I'm in right now, but when my mom and I first moved into our house when I was 5 or 6, there were hundreds of 4-leaf clovers in our yard, and I've never seen it again. I don't know what caused it, but it was so cool, and I spent hours out there picking all the 4-leaf clovers, and we ironed them in wax paper to save them. So this is another thing that's just been floating around for years, and I had no place for it. So now it has a place, and I'm very happy about that. Another page of wonderful 90s things that I've been saving, that have been floating around in my closet for years. Nail polish swatches. I was trying to go through my collection and thin it out, figure out what I had that was really similar to each other, or that I just really didn't like and never wore. So I X'd out some that I got rid of, just so I know what I have, and so I don't buy anything too similar because I love nail polish. Nail polish and lipstick are the only makeup items I really ever need. Some of my favorite names. I've always been a huge name nerd. I have at least 4 baby name books that I've had since I was a little kid. I used them to name my dolls. I use them all the time to name book characters because I'm a writer as well, and I like to be able to look through name books for the meanings of the names and what would fit the characters well and all that. Some of my favorites. And now we're into spring, so here's my spring playlist. And the Lennon concert. So I was able to get a VIP ticket for Lennon's show in March, and it was a fabulous time. I cannot describe to you how wonderful she is and how much I love her. Here's our meet and greet photo. Here's the excuse me, here's the set list. a little note from my mom that she put in with lunch that she made for me. Oh, pristine excellence. It's one of those haunting songs I listen to on repeat. Will never get tired of it. Will always make me cry. Perfect. And Be Good. Also, I have a few more of them in here somewhere. Fragile. Those are little temporary tattoos of Lennon's tattoos, which I thought was really cute, so I stuck them in here. And Be Good is adorable. She has that tattooed on her arm. She said every time she would leave the house, her mom would say, "Love you, be good." So she got Be Good right on her arm in her mom's handwriting. Lyrics to another favorite song of hers, one of her tattoos. This says Maisie. I know it's harder to read. And now it's April. My mom had a cookie party. Oh, okay. Can't keep it open anymore. So this spread and here, these are all of the most influential albums of my entire life. These are the albums I grew up with, never get tired of, can listen to on repeat. There's not a single song on any of these albums that I skip. These are my albums. Some of them are newer, obviously. I didn't grow up with Hamilton, but it holds true. These are the most special albums to me. Favorite Friends. I'm sure I could easily fill up the rest of this page with more favorite episodes, but these are just the ones that instantly come to mind when I think of Favorite Friends episodes or episodes that I'm constantly returning to. Back to Scotland. This is my second trip to Scotland, and this time my mom and I went with Adam, and we met up with my aunt and uncle and a whole bunch of my cousins who I haven't seen in years. So that was really wonderful. This was also a great trip. This is just some labels that I tore off of the object because the object was taking up a lot of space, like candle jars that I didn't need to keep, but I thought the label was pretty. Does anyone remember Skylark by Ellen Blair? I still had the eyeshadow palette, which is crazy because it's, what, like 15 years old at this point? Maybe not that old, I don't know. But it was time to go. I haven't touched it in years, but I had to keep a little reminder of it. Ellen Blair were really my first YouTube subscriptions. I watched them all the time. Molly McButter is my favorite condiment? Is it a condiment? I don't really know. It's like you use it instead of salt and butter. It's so good. I've been obsessed with it since I was a little kid. And I had this old magazine from 1994 and saved the Molly McButter ad out of it. No articles, no important stories, just the Molly McButter ad. And then I saved an actual label a couple of years ago because they were changing the label, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss this old label. Yeah, I have a problem. Okay. And we have reached the end of the journal. We had this amazing thunderstorm that turned the sky colors I have never seen. We had the coolest lightning. We lost power for a while, but that was okay. I love, love, love a good thunderstorm. And that is the end of this journal. Polar Seltzer is kind of like the Molly McButter thing. I'm obsessed with Polar Seltzer. Has to be Polar brand, and it's the best there is. These look like old labels to me. I'm pretty sure I saved these. Like the Molly McButter, I knew they were changing them, so I was like, oh, have to keep them forever, because I'm insane. That is that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was really fun. I hope you enjoyed going through my memories with me. I will see you spooks tomorrow. Bye! This is so awkward. Goodbye.